Hi, friends. This is Mr. Cozy, one of your assistant principals here at Oregon Elementary School. I'm here today to talk to you about the difference between minor and major behaviors here at OES. Let's get started. First thing I'm going to talk about is owning our choices at Oregon Elementary. The idea is we all make choices every day. How we act, how we treat others, how we handle tough moments. And at OES, we use the acronym SOAR, and we show Oregon pride by, you guessed it, keeping safety first, owning our actions, acting responsibly, and respecting everybody. What is a minor behavior, you might ask? Here are some examples. In the classroom, if you're talking when you should be listening, that's minor. Not following directions, a minor. Leaving your seat without permission, although not encouraged, also a minor. Mild teasing might be considered a minor. Not turning in work or ignoring a reminder from a teacher. Being off task or distracting others. Those might lead to a consequence. What would happen, you think? Well, you'll probably get a reminder, a reteach, or maybe a small consequence like stay back for those 5 minutes you wasted. You're going to have to pay them back to me now. You also may receive a minor referral, which means it goes in the system and it follows you as you go through school. The big takeaway here is it's a chance to learn and fix it. However, sometimes minors add up. If you keep getting the same minor for the same behavior, it might turn into a major. Why, might you ask? Well, that's because it shows you're choosing not to change after being given chances to learn. Here are some examples. Ignoring directions every day. That turns into defiance. Teasing classmates again and again. That's harassment. Think of it like a video game. You'll get multiple chances, minors, but if you keep losing the same way, you level up to a major consequence. So let's talk about the bigger things, the major behaviors. What is a major behavior? We would define it here as major behaviors are serious actions that hurt others, stop learning, or break our school's safety and respect rules. Here are some examples, and this is not a full list because there are others not listed here. But if you're fighting or hitting, using physical force to hurt somebody, that's a major. Bullying, meaning repeated and serious harassment of another student, especially when there's a power difference. So if you and another friend take something of another classmate because there's 2-on-1, that might be considered bullying. Or let's say you're a big, strong boy picking on a shorter, less physically able boy. There's a power dynamic there. That might be bullying. Hateful and discriminatory language. These are words meant to insult or exclude somebody based on who they are. One example of one of those would be a racial slur, using offensive words about somebody's race or culture. This could be somebody's color of their skin, could be where they go to church, could be a boy who likes other boys. Either way, if you use language that's a slur, that might be a major behavior. Teasing somebody for being gay or straight. Threats to school safety, like saying or writing things that make people feel unsafe at school. Physical contact or harassment of teachers or staff. If you hit, touch, or intimidate an adult in the building, you very likely are going to have a strong consequence and a major referral. Sexual harassment is also a very big deal. You may not touch, comment, or gesture anything that would make somebody feel sexually uncomfortable at school. Major classroom disruptions. If you stop the entire class from learning because you are turning over chairs or you are so angry, that's likely going to be a major too, because everybody here has the right to be able to come to school and learn, and you may not take that away from them. Vandalism is also a big deal. That would be destroying or damaging school property, walls, bathrooms, furniture, or other people's belongings. Okay, so now we have an understanding of what might be a major behavior. Let's talk about what some possible outcomes or consequences could be for those behaviors. You will most likely get a major office referral, meaning it's in the system. You will definitely have your parents contacted. You may receive either an in-school or an out-of-school suspension. If you are in a grade where there are incentive field trips based on behavior, you will not be allowed to come. Restorative conference with teacher or repair safety plan might be part of your future as well. That means you might have to sit in a room with some adults and anybody who you offended and talk about what you're going to do in the future, type up a plan, and be held accountable to it. Here's the takeaway, though. Major behaviors don't just lead to bigger consequence. They also break trust and hurt our school community. If you're a student who has had multiple major behaviors, it's going to be difficult to trust you with independence and freedom in the building. That's just how it is. So the best thing you could do is do what's right when nobody's looking, and that's called having integrity, friends. The more integrity you have, the more freedoms and responsibility you will be able to experience and enjoy. To start to summarize, here's what we want you to know. First of all, you guys are kids. Mistakes happen. It's how we learn. Adults are here to help you make better choices. Serious or repeated behaviors have serious consequences. And showing Oregon pride means taking ownership and making it right. Friends, it's time to soar. That means we're keeping safety first, own my actions, act responsibly, and respect everybody. And now I just want to give you a chance to reflect and respond. If your teacher agrees to and you're willing, I would love for you to fill out a form. First question is going to be, what's one example of a minor behavior you've seen somebody fix? Now, what do I mean by that? A time where you have seen somebody commit a minor thing, like talking when the teacher's talking, and been given an opportunity to fix it without getting in trouble. The next question you're going to ask, and the final question is, what's one way you can show Oregon pride if you're upset or you disagree with somebody? There are a lot of options out there. If you find yourself feeling angry or like you might make a bad choice, there's always a trusted adult you can go to. I'm one of them. Mrs. Webb, Mr. Hewells are two more. There are also countless paraprofessional aides and teachers in this building who love you and want to see you succeed. Please tap into them. And if you go to somebody and you don't feel heard, there's always somebody else to go to. Okay? So please do what's right when no one's watching. If you see something, say something, and always treat each other with respect. That's being a good person. You all make this job as principal such a wonderful place to be. Thank you so much for listening today. If you have any questions or concerns, you can come see any trusted adult in the building. And I hope you have a fantastic day. It's always great to be an Oregon Hawk.